I'm on a quest to prove that you can learn something from any aquascaper, whether they are complete beginner or completely advanced. Today's aquascaper is definitely advanced. Welcome to the Small Scape. This week's videos from both Primetime Aquatics and here on the Small Scape are actually covering the same topic, and that is a specific fish room in Missouri, and that is the fish room belonging to Melanie Holmes, a wonderful aquascaper, beautiful person, and one that we thoroughly enjoyed getting a tour of. However, Primetime Aquatics and myself, we will look at the same space completely different. So I am bringing you 7 things that I took away from that fish room, 7 things that I either inspired me or are serious solutions for me. Hope you find it helpful. First, my favorite thing, the first thing that absolutely hit me when I walked into that fish room was PALUDARIUMS. They don't have to be rimless. Hers isn't. It's not even complete yet, and it looks amazing, and it's not in a rimless tank. My assumption in the past has been, if you're going to do a paludarium, it needs to be rimless. So if you're talking a larger one, like the one that we were possibly considering for the studio back there, thinking, well, it's got to be rimless. We're going to have to, what is it going to be, custom made? Are you going to have to find some? Rimless are not only very expensive, but you just can't walk into any fish store and find yourself a decent sized rimless aquarium. So keep that in mind. If you were like me and assumed that a paludarium and some really cool looking aquascapes need to be in a rimless aquarium, think not. Second, I have finally seen up close and personal in her tanks her favorite substrate. I have heard her talk about it for years, and that is red flint sand. I actually have a bag of this from the time that we went to SR Aquaristique. That is local in Elgin. They're also related to Zuze. This substrate is actually for sale if you want to check it out on their website, zuze.com, or if you just want to look up their website, I believe it's redflint.com. It explains a little bit about it, but this sand is actually naturally occurring in streams and rivers. So if you're looking for a river biotope, have I got the substrate for you? My favorite substrate historically has been black sand. Maybe you just don't want that feel. You're trying to do a river or a stream biotope. You're not going to want to do a black sand. That's typically not found in that biotope. You want to do a lighter sand. I have used moonlight sand in the past, really like it, but it is a very light colored sand, whereas red flint is way more natural looking. It's got a very nice size grain size, and then also it's got a variation of color. It's just beautiful and also very natural looking. So I'm anxious to put together a scape using that red flint sand. Third, a fish room or even just a aquarium does not have to be expensive. A lot of her stands and even aquariums have come from Facebook Marketplace and also fish clubs. She's a member of Fish Club. When you have swaps or auctions, you can get great deals. So if you're not a member of a club, or if you don't attend swaps or auctions, I highly recommend you do. And then hop on the infamous Facebook Marketplace to see what kind of deals you can get, because there's no bigger chunk of money than when you're looking for a stand for an aquarium. They can really set you back if you just go and buy a aquarium stand. Check out some vintage furniture that is very, very well made and sturdy, or just check out Facebook Marketplace and do some shopping. Number 4, I have always maintained that your hobby should be your hobby. So your fish room or your single aquarium should be what you like, not what somebody else likes or what is you've seen a lot of aquascapers do, what is technically correct for aquascaping. Your style should be your style. Mr. Primetime created the fish room in the basement to basically replicate a fish room that he would go to when he was young. So it's rows and rows and stacks of aquariums with all different kind of fish, and that was what he was looking for. My style is a little bit more kind of quirky, eclectic. Some of it you haven't even seen yet, but I like the eclectic mixture of different size tanks, even small little aquariums with maybe no fish, just some plants or some driftwood just kind of hanging out on a dresser. And that is what spoke to me in Melanie's Fishroom. She is very similarly styled. I would call it kind of eclectic, but that's what she likes. That's what I like. Mix and match, different kind of, maybe for you it's different biotopes. You want different, completely different looks in your aquariums. Maybe you want them all to look exactly the same. It's your fish room, do what you like and have what you like in there, whether it be something really, really quirky or completely neat and tidy, and just make the space your own. Fifth, I have determined that I love layers. Now, are they simple, her aquarium specifically, simple to create? No. You really do need to know what you're doing, but you can get there by practicing, researching, maybe copying some Scape, you know, using it as inspiration and creating your own. But hers, I like the layered look. That's what I call it in my own head. But you have some rock, she doesn't use a whole lot of rock, but then a lot of driftwood, which creates a beautiful backdrop, and then some plants. She doesn't use a whole lot of plants, but the driftwood basically creates a backdrop or a stage for the fish. And that leads me to the next point is, I would really like to start incorporating more aquariums that have a single species of fish. And with this striking backdrop that is very simple and mass planted, you have a mass, maybe one single kind of plant, you have a single kind of driftwood, a whole lot of it, or maybe a single kind of rock, a whole lot of driftwood or rock, creating that backdrop. It really allows the fish to show and really kind of pop. And I would really like to start incorporating that in a few scapes. And number 7 is, I found it absolutely intriguing that all of her tanks were different. She had different size tanks. Obviously a lot of us will. We don't have the same exact tank, but she had different furniture, different size tanks, and different, well, obviously slightly different scapes, different fish, of course, but different lights. That's what struck me. Absolutely different lights based on the aquarium and the size that she has. So a lot of us, I tend to fall into, I don't know if it's like an OCD thing, but the same. If I like a particular light, I want all my tanks to have the same light. I like the same pen, this pen right here. I have boxes of this pen because I have to use the exact same pen, like in a cup holder. I want the exact same pen. I don't know, it's just weird. But for aquariums, I don't think that needs to be, because for each size, and if you do have kind of a gallery sort of look in your fish room, maybe you do, maybe you don't, you can have totally different lights based on your room, maybe based on the requirements of fish, the plants, whatever you have in that aquarium. Or some of her lights even were hanging from the ceiling. You have a big light, maybe know where to rest it, or you want it up a certain level to accommodate the plants that you have, so that not too much light, maybe more light. She had tiny little lights that clip on an aquarium. All different, even just tabletop lamps for some smaller little like globe aquariums, or just kind of cylinder tanks. To each tank you have unique solutions, so don't limit yourself to just a single kind of light or a single kind of aquarium. Branch out and just do what you need in that particular aquarium, what the fish need, what the plants need, and it's all good. Now for a bonus, look carefully and listen carefully. That right there is a little speaker and it's playing nature sounds. How perfect is that for a fish room? I'm knocking that off immediately. So I hope you like this video. I like to learn from other aquascapers, other fish keepers, pretty much in any other medium too. And I like to combine things to just create something new, something different. And I don't know if you're the same way, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what has struck you in the past, or what kind of struck you from Melanie's tanks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.